Another Panhard episode? So soon? Yeah, but not that Panhard. So today is a little bit of a cleaner, tidier day. No sort of sitting in a dust bowl in the middle of Tarpley in 30-degree heat. I am currently in the Tasty Discovery on the way to get the Tasty trailer tied up to the tow hitch, and we're going to head off to see a gentleman called Mike Crane, who you might have seen messaging on the comments of the last Panhard videos. He is a member of the Panhard Owners Club, and yeah, lives in Chorley, Lancashire, and has sat on his drive a Panhard PL17 without an engine and all this sort of stuff, and it's just a body with a few spares on it. Now, I kind of want that car. I need it for things like maybe sill sections I can cut out, floor pan, how things look on other cars, you know, a bit of a sort of, I can just get a real good idea of things from seeing another one. So I want it, and he's going to sell it to me, which is super exciting. So we're going to go and see him. Now Mike, as I said, is from the Panhard Owners Club. There's two people that I've been speaking to. John Passfield, who's been helping me out with parts and getting registered up with the Panhard Owners Club. So hello John, if you are listening or watching, and Mike. And if you imagine, like, if we're operating on a body, like I'm potentially the person doing the operation, and then you've got Mike, my anesthesiologist, and John, the like Surgeon General or something, you know, and together we're going to bring this Panhard back to life, you know. They're helping me, you know, they're giving me the knowledge that I need, and without them it would be a whole lot harder. So yeah, let's get this trailer hooked up, and then let's go and see this Panhard. How much? Just arrived at Mike's place. This is the Panhard, the other Panhard. What is it?
This is a PL17.
A PL17?
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's have a look. Get this cover off. Look at its eyes.
Yeah, well, this was a later model. It was the same middle section as yours.
Right.
But they tried to rejuvenate it to make it look a bit more youthful, because it was a bit long in the tooth, yours. But in actual fact, I think they ruined it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's I like the look of mine. This one's, well, I don't think it looks quite as nice.
This is your beastie.
What a machine.
And it's different to yours, because this is suicide doors.
Oh, so no suicides?
No. So that door's the same. The hinge mechanism that used to be in there is all gone.
Wow, right, okay.
They're solid.
Brilliant. They'll be getting cut off, I think.
I would. You've got some controls here which will work with yours, even though they're on colour.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
You've got a gear change, which is left-hand drive, but you might be able to do something with it.
So is the selector still there?
Yeah, hang on.
Because that's obviously what we need. Sorry for the shoddy camera work, by the way.
Here it is.
Oh, we've got a gearbox.
Yes. And more importantly, after your struggles with your carburettor, 136 WIM.
Oh, look, and it looks in much better nick than mine.
You've also got a spare wiper motor.
Wow, look at that. Great. I mean, I shouldn't have spent all that time getting mine working, though.
Right, well, you did tackle it the wrong way around without being rude to you. Anyway, so there's another manifold.
Yeah.
On it. Again with the drain hole that's in there, but you know, can you see? Yours was right on the under side, that's not.
Yeah, dead suspect place to put a drain hole, like, you know.
Anyway, so that's your clutch mechanism. So you've got a clutch release bearing, which you might need. So you can see how much movement it's got on it. Right.
Absolutely fantastic. That's what I need. So
There's the clutch cable.
Right, is that free inside there, do you know? Oh yes, it is. It's free inside there.
What you do is you peel all this casing off with a standing knife.
Right, yeah.
Drop it in, some diesel and petrol.
Right, okay.
Degrease it all, make sure it all works nicely. Then lube it up by, again, dropping it in oil if you want, whatever you want to do, but make sure it's all, you know, lubed up. Then get some self-adhesive, 3 times heat shrink or 4 times heat shrink, sleeving.
Put it over that.
And you sleeve it over and then just use a heat shrink and warm it up.
Right,
and then you don't have to change any fittings, get a cable, it saves you loads of money. I mean, I'll show you, because...
That's fantastic, isn't it? Did you say there was a gear selector in it?
Yeah, there is. That's there, that's on top of the gearbox. There, look. There's one cable there.
Oh, look at that. That is exactly what we need.
One there. Right, both these cables did work.
That is the piece of the puzzle, you know.
There is a trick to taking the engines out.
I hope it's going to be the right one being a left hooker and a right hooker. I don't know, maybe.
There is a slight difference, unfortunately, in the column area where the casting's made.
Well, I snapped the casting on the old one anyway.
I saw you do it, and I was thinking, you don't realise all the French guys want a right-hand drive car because they want to do DBs or CD copies.
Right,
and the left-hand drive DB used, because it had the stick in the floor. Actually used the right-hand drive column change.
Wow, right, okay.
So anyway, so this one is slightly different to yours. There's a lot of commonality. Now the brake drums are the later fin type.
Yeah.
So these are actually slightly cooler. They don't buckle the same way.
Brilliant.
Alright, so you've got 4 of them. They all fit on the same place.
Look at these sills as well, yeah, great. Oh, what are they like under there? Oh yeah, absolutely solid.
I mean, you could even take a door off if you wanted to. You know, a back door or something if it suited you. Obviously the wings always go.
Yeah, but again, yeah, nice and, you know, bits are there, aren't they?
I don't know what we've got in the back. You won't need them. In back, I even threw one of them in because I found it.
Fantastic, yeah.
Spare fuel tank.
Brilliant, yeah.
Another wheel there. And there's a clutch cover and clutch for you.
Oh, look at that. What a guy.
Alright. So, although, you know, it'll clean up with a bit of wire.
100%, yeah.
Just dump that in something. We'll get you out of jail.
That will get me out of jail in a big way. Oh man, what a guy, love it. Nice number plate for the wall there as well, look.
Yeah, let's just whip that off. So now I'll show you what I've done on this thing. Now this thing hasn't been used since the crankshaft went. It's got a valve went. And you end up dying.
So what's under here then?
Well, this was the heat.
The heap? Heap as bad as my heap? Oh yes! Here we go. Oh wow, look at this.
This one I used to use on the roads. Alright, but the paint on it was never a thing of wonder.
No, well, who cares about paint, man?
Right, so there you are. It's just that little bracket there. So you can see.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner in here than mine, yeah.
Well, can you see what I've done with the wiper motor? I put a relay on it to stop it burning out.
Oh, nice, right, okay.
So these were your daft, you know, your...
The cables.
Yeah. Now these were for the air ducts.
Yeah.
Which mine work. So
fair play.
I did all these brake pipes.
Yeah, nice.
This is a clutch cable. That's an air filter I modded, box modded. Now also I fitted a one-way valve on the fuel pump, electric fuel pump to pull it up.
Yeah.
Fuel filter there.
Yeah.
And then from here, well you can't see it, but you can see like little tweaks. You know, this is the same manifold as you, but look at this carburetor. Now this is the Weber 34 ICH. Okay.
Fantastic, right?
It fits straight on the mechanism. I just had to modify something there with a pin, but it just fits straight on there and works the right way.
Wow.
And you can get all the jets for those are about, they used to be £2.50 each.
Well, this is it, yeah, and probably
so
available in this country as well.
Can you see? One there where I re-sleeved it with heat shrink.
Fantastic, yeah, got you.
Now, I blanked off mine, blanking plates on the exhaust.
Got it, yeah.
And then the quickest and easiest way, and purists might not like you, is to chop the exhaust there and there on the flat section and use Volkswagen Audi group, Volkswagen Polo.
Oh, nice, yeah, just sort of reclamp it.
What that means then is when you're taking your engine out, you've got two long screws here, which are sods to get off, but we'll sort that out in a minute. I'll show you what spanner to use for that.
Right.
All this wiring, I just redid.
Well, that's what I did on mine the other day. Just sort of changed it all because it was all sorts of wiring.
This actually, although it looks like a shed on the outside, was a great runner.
Yeah, well, it looks nice and clean. It looks quite, well put together.
And then, obviously you spend more time on earths and stuff. I had LED light bulbs in here, which I think I took out in the end. I went to halogens.
Yeah.
But I also, used LEDs on here, as you can see them just there.
So that's the plan with mine. So it's just leave the outer nice bright safe LED underneath.
So then these, they're a bit out of spec, but because nobody can see them, I put those on.
So
repeaters.
Is that a side repeater indicator?
Yes, it works with that. And what you do is you get an LED type relay.
Yeah.
Electronic relay.
Yeah.
And then you can drive all six of them all the same. So
right. Nice, yeah. I've got all my air filter box and stuff. What have you used for an actual air filter? Is there a car or something that matches?
Actually, but there is a Harley Davidson one you can get, but it's not ideal because it's too chunky. They didn't actually have one. They just had an unoiled bit of tin, like a mesh that used to dip in oil, and that would be it.
And that was it?
Yeah, that was it. There is an oil filter in here, an air filter, should I say, but you can't see it. Can you see? There's this resonance chamber there with a load of holes in it.
Brilliant, right, okay, yeah, well, great, well, that's good news then, isn't it? I haven't even dug into mine yet, to be honest.
This was an ICH, a Land Rover one. But,
so that's what I've been reading up about, a lot of the Land Rover stuff, yeah.
But the difference is that this is where the fuel comes out. You need it on this side to miss the distributor, because it rotates.
Of course, yeah.
So I just bunged it.
Nice, yeah.
It's not, it does the job.
I know, it's just so good to see two different Panhards. So what's your plans for this one then?
Well, I was going to put an engine in it, but...
Have you thought about putting something else in it, or...?
There isn't much you can put in it.
Yeah.
And I quite like the engines because I make bits for them.
Yeah, the engines are good. The engines are a lot of fun. Very unique, aren't they?
Cool. It's out of sequence.
The whole car's unique. The whole car's... The design's just...
That's it.
It's just fantastic. I love every bit of it,
Well, they're aerodynamic. You wouldn't know it to look at it.
It's a shame they had to stop making cars, really. I mean, I couldn't imagine what they'd be coming up with now.
Well, this thing does 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And a bit more.
That's it.
95. In the 80s I had one.
The goal is to get mine to 95, isn't it?
Who knows?
It's had quite a lot of chassis lightning.
The only problem with yours is you're on one where you're an organ donor, alright?
Yeah.
Any old car, you become an instant organ donor.
Absolutely.
So, here.
Just going to get around there, let's have a look.
You can see.
Nice. So good.
But it was just a shed for getting around in.
Yeah.
And because it was a test rig for the cars, the engines, right?
Of course.
So now let's look for some goodies.
So what else have you got here then? Look at this thing.
Well, you're a monster.
This is
the Mark II. This is not.
This is the really good looking one. This one, isn't it? Without the lights up there and stuff.
I actually prefer the ugly ones.
Yeah, so do I.
Because they're more pure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only thing is, the plastics in them absolutely rot.
Right.
So this one is actually
three seats across the middle.
Yeah. It's in quite good nick, and it's got the Bluetooth option. So if you've got a Nokia 3310 from the 80s or something, you'd be well away. Or an
it's about half a mile to the other door as well.
But they are...
Look at the multiple mats.
Yeah, well that was original. It was funny. So this thing, when I thought, right, well I'll drop the sump off.
Yeah.
And they're sods to get the sump off normally. And this car was owned by some previous guy who was, took it to garages to be serviced. And obviously they have got, 6 fingers and God knows what else.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of snapped off bits and pieces underneath it.
Fucking hell, yeah.
And I couldn't get the sump off. In the end, I could prise it one side. I could just get a recip saw in, just like a small recip saw, and take the sump, one of the gearbox bolts out.
Right, yeah.
And then I had to weld a nut on and try and undo it, But yeah. So yeah, I've dropped it, changed all the shells on it, connecting rod bearings, everything.
Bloody hell, nice.
And I was just
bottom end rebuilds, like,
I've just been out to get some flushing oil. Oh, you can't buy flushing oil in 5 litres, sir. What? Surely you can. No, we just do small tins and you add it to your old oil. I said, I don't want that oil going in the car again. So that was that.
So bit of a big job then.
It was well, it's just messy.
Well, like me, you've got a real penchant for the interesting cars,
Quirky.
The quirkiness. Yeah.
So I mean, that one looks real quirky.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant.
They are, and that's the reason why I've still got them.
Yeah.
Because they are great fun to drive. They handle really well. I know they won the Monte Carlo Rally in 1961 because basically they threw minis out on the technicality.
Yes, right, yeah, right.
To do with the light bulbs.
Yeah.
Or the lights on the front. But they do handle really well, and you can chuck them into corners. I've got a YouTube video of me driving one at night coming back from St Helens.
Brilliant. I have to hook it up to the channel. Like I need to watch these things.
So this thing.
And then a Spider. Yeah, love it.
That was another fine story. So, like you. Spot a bargain on Auto Trader.
Yeah, of course.
This one belonged to an old boy for 7 years. Didn't want to sell it at home. So he gave it to one of his mates on a forecourt. He sold it to him. He sold it. He took it up to Whitby, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. It couldn't get out of 4th gear or this, that, and the other. Couldn't select gears, and so he reduced the price from $3,000 to $1,500. I was working in Leeds, about 9 miles away. A chap, I worked with, he gave me a lift across to Garforth. We went looking at it. Thought, that's worth the money, because it can only be 4 things wrong with this gearbox, because the same gearbox is used on this car as it is on that one.
Nice.
And it can either be a Bro Shrinker ring, which is £22 from Warrington, whatever gearbox centre.
Yeah.
It can be selector linkages, but they've already tried to mess with the selector linkages on that. The mechanic said, oh no, it's knackered, it won't do it.
So it
kept jumping out of 4th gear, needs a new gearbox. So it was dropped from $3,000 to $1,500.
Yeah.
So I bought it at $1,500 knowing it would only take me 20 minutes to fix, because
looks like it's been here for slightly longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I had it running, all right?
Right, yeah.
And it was going great guns. But unfortunately, unbeknown to me, this has a JTS engine, jet thrust stoichiometric or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So apparently one of its faults is when it's cold, it puts a lot of water, fuel in, and it runs down the bores and dilutes the oil.
Yeah.
Cut back to driving this thing around. Used a bit of oil, so I topped it up. Ordered new oil, filters, everything, coolant, everything. I washed everything out. I only had a weekend because I was back to work in Leeds on Monday. So I took it over. As I'm going through the gates into work, engine light came on, and it started like really fluffy, like rich.
Yeah.
All right, so started it again and just got it into the car park. But unfortunately, my little diagnostic ODB2 tool I left here. Right. So anyway, got a long story short, I'd run it for 3-4 days before one came back off Amazon. And unbeknown to me, I was diluting the oil. Didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Coming back on the motorway, 60, we were in a stop start on the 62 and 60 into down Irwell Valley. Got on to 61 round 4 lane ends. Come round. Gearbox is fixed, by the way, then.
Right.
One of the faults was, one of the four was low oil level. I took 350cc's out and it needed a litre in to fill it. So that was all it was. And there was no oil.
Would have been a nice fix, yeah.
It was a good fix. It was great, honest. And I tell you what, these cars handle. They're really nice.
Oh, I love them. Absolutely love them. Yeah, really good.
So that's project number 2. Let's put that engine in there.
Fantastic. And I see you've got a 2-post lift.
outside your house, which is well, it's extremely commendable, isn't it? Everybody should have that. They should sell new houses with these built in as an option, shouldn't they?
I have got to put something up over it, but it's just there for now.
No, it's perfection, isn't it? But yeah, what a great little place, like, love it. What's the, I did see an electric car charging point on the front of your house though.
That's for a BMW i3.
Oh, right, okay.
They're quirky little things as well.
They are great, yeah.
This is a 34-year-old motorcycle. They only made 400 of these.
God, it's clean, isn't it?
It's not mine, I borrowed it off a mate.
Super clean.
It's great fun, if you like motorcycles.
Yeah, I need to pass my licence.
Well, that's a big stumbling block then.
Yeah, I've always been interested to. I would like to.
You've got longer legs than me, so you know, you'll be alright on that.
It's a big bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's quite heavy. It's 240 kilos, this thing.
Wow. Big BMW fan as well, so it's probably something I should be into. What, you know, yeah, what engine's in that?
It's a 980cc.
Nice,
now,
good size.
believe it or not, it's very similar to the Panhard, it's a flat twin.
Yeah.
And, believe it or not, again, if you get the 800, you can use the 800cc pistons in the Panhards.
Nice.
Alright, but you don't need to know that.
But yeah, because nothing wrong with my engine, is there?
Right, so my cup of tea's going cold. I also changed the exhaust on this one. This has got an old Alpha 1750 exhaust on it. Right, twin pipe thing. I was going to take it off, but you can have it on
yeah, because I need one. Yeah, I need one.
Well, what you do is I fitted a cherry bomb. Just
fantastic.
Pipe,
yeah.
I don't know if you've got your shorts on here, but I'll just show you what I did with this. Now the cherry bomb's right at the back.
Right, let me have a look.
But I made that exhaust there, just a straight inline one.
Oh yeah, can see it.
So that was one I just knocked up.
So that was essentially what I was thinking of doing. But if you've got one on that other car,
right at the end, I got a cherry bomb. It makes it a hell of a rasp. But unfortunately, you can't see that. But
That's what it is. I'll just put them over the fence. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
See you again sometime.
We've done it. We've done it. All I've got to do is build.
When you want to take your engine out, I'll jump down on the bike and I'll give you a lift on and I'll take the engine out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Put some different clobber on and we'll do an engine swap and get that clutch going for you.
Yeah, that's the last piece of the puzzle. Once that's done, bit of welding to the show.
So you order some heat shrink, 4 times heat shrink.
Yeah.
And we'll rescue one clutch cable. We'll take both off, rescue one.
Yeah, because it's not snapped, it just needs rescue.
And we'll see what we can do with this clutch, this gear lever. I do have one right-hand drive gear leakage mechanism.
Oh really? If we can't get this one to go?
Yeah, I'd rather we got yours going.
Replacement de l'ensemble de refroidissement, a turbine. It's got a turbo? No way. That was great, wasn't it? What a fantastic day out. Fantastic meeting Mike. What a cool guy. And he's given me loads of stuff, including this bit of literature, which is the review technique, which probably means something like technical review in French. For all cars, and there's loads of stuff for my beautiful thing there, which is great, isn't it? So read that in bed tonight. And more stuff like this is a little bracket that holds the inlet manifold in place to stop it spinning round, which will fit. These two for blanking that exhaust bit, so we can get rid of those completely. He just gave me those, man. What a nice guy. And then he gave me these two things as well. So this is a spark plug socket thing, which is going to make taking the spark plugs out loads easier, that he'd made. Fantastic. And these, which are whiskey stones, which you put in the freezer and put them in your glass of whiskey to keep it cold but not water it down. Oh yeah, and a car full of bits. So on there we've got clutch cable, which is free and works. Hope it's the right one, because obviously this is left-hand drive, right-hand drive, so hopefully it all goes on. Gear selector. So we've got the gear selector, we've got all the connections for it, so hopefully I can get rid of the red thing off mine, which I didn't really like, didn't really work. Kind of would work if you spent a bit more time doing it, but I've got another one, so we're going to try and get that one to work instead, which is going to be original thing for the car. And yeah, loads of other bits which are going to come in handy. There's a whole other clutch in there, just tons of stuff. And it was great meeting Mike as well, because I had a chance to sort of ask him a load of questions that I needed to know about, you know, pulling engines out and all this sort of stuff. So he's given me a few little shortcuts and things, which is quite exciting. And he even said, I don't know if he was serious or not, but he was going to come down and help me do it. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to be doing that in a couple of weeks, because I've got other stuff to crack on with for now. But we are, you know, it's just a massive help, isn't it? Massive, massive help. Oh, and the sills are solid on this, so they're just going to get chopped off, welded onto that thing there. So superb. And there's bits of the floor section that I can cut out as well. I hope they're going to be okay. It's quite crusty, but we'll see if we can find some that are solid enough. It's all like wafer thin though, so it's going to be fun welding that. But I've welded a lot of French cars before, and it's just a slow process, isn't it? But I hope you enjoyed this sort of emergency episode. This episode I didn't really realise was happening today, but it is. Yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.